Ilia Topuria's phenomenal technique. Ilia will defend his featherweight title for the first time against Max Holloway in the main event of UFC 308 on October 26th in Abu Dhabi, after a stunning knockout of Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 298 to claim the title. Ilia has dazzled with 4 knockouts in his last 6 victories. Joe Rogan praises El Matador for having technique that stands unrivaled in the sport. One of the things that is phenomenal about him is his technique. Rogan said on a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, his technique is perfect. There's no fat in his technique. There's no wasted movements. So when an opportunity presents itself, everything is so fast because the technique is so streamlined. Look at how he hits the pads, and when you watch how he hits pads, Floyd Mayweather is a great example of that as well. Some of the best hands in the sport. He's the current UFC featherweight champion and knocked out Volkanovski, who is maybe the greatest of all time. See how he's moving his head when Guy throws punches, slipping just slightly? The speed, man, Rogan said. The fucking speed of that. Look at the hand speed. Incredible. If you know how difficult that is to do and do it that fast. I mean, these are like 5-6 punches a second and just phenomenal technique. Dana White claims Jon Jones is absolutely an active fighter and goes off in another rant to the media about the pound-for-pound debate. Dana has consistently praised heavyweight champion Jon Jones this year, declaring him the ultimate pound-for-pound fighter in the world, even though he's only fought once in the past 18 months. Even some of his fighters, like Sean O'Malley, for example, disagree with Dana and argue that the lightweight champ Islam Makhachev is the top pound-for-pound fighter right now. At the post-fight press conference for Dana White's Contender Series this past Wednesday, Dana couldn't help but launch into another passionate rant about Jones. Earlier in the week, fans noticed White had tagged Jones in an Instagram post that had nothing to do with the heavyweight star. This led one fan to accuse White of glazing Jones. The MMA community, as expected, started making jokes about Dana on social media. Dana responded to the glazing comments with, "If glaze means drop facts, then yes, I guess I'm glazing." Bizarrely, despite having already gone through it countless times in post-fight press conferences and during interviews, White spoke about it again during Wednesday night's press conference. "Did I mention to you guys that Jon Jones is the greatest of all time?" Dana jokingly said at the presser. MMA reporter Kevin Iole jokingly asked if Jones has pictures of White on his phone, and that's the reason for White's constant praise. Dana said, "I saw that on the internet too. People asking if Jones has pictures of me. Are you guys that stupid? You can't be that stupid to think that Jon Jones is not the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, but maybe you are. Did I mention to you guys that Jon Jones is the greatest of all time?" Dana jokingly said at the presser. MMA reporter Kevin Iole jokingly asked if Jones has pictures of White on his phone, and that's the reason for White's constant praise. Dana said, "I saw that on the internet too. People asking if Jones has pictures of me. Are you guys that stupid? You can't be that stupid to think that Jon Jones is not the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, but maybe you are." UFC lightweight title challenger Arman Tsarukyan was asked about his recent physical interaction with Khamzat Chimaev. UFC middleweight contender Chimaev and the #1 ranked lightweight Tsarukyan recently met up and had an intense sparring session in which Khamzat dominated. Tsarukyan himself revealed everything about the sparring. Speaking with Russian source Ushatika, Arman said, "Yes, I did train with Khamzat. I felt his power, man. We wrestled and sparred. He is extremely strong. Grappling with him is very difficult. His cardio is good. His ability to control on the ground and his knowledge and submissions are very high level. He made it look easy. He is very good at it. He has 2 good chokes that he has mastered, Anaconda and Darce. Believe me, you absolutely don't want to be in those positions with him. He was different than anyone I've trained. He is a beast. How about that?" Amid recent news of Khamzat losing his discipline and eating candies and sweets during his training camp, it seems as he still got it. And we might get the old Khamzat that ran through the welterweight division. Do you think he beats Robert Whittaker? Tsarukyan, on the other hand, is facing off against his longtime rival, Islam Makhachev, in a title bout. Date is not known yet, but according to Arman, the UFC is planning on scheduling the fight in December. And if Islam isn't ready until December, Arman claims that UFC will make an interim title fight. In case of interim title fight, most likely opponents for Tsarukyan would be either Charles Oliveira or Dan the Hangman Hooker. Lightweight division is stacked and is looking more exciting than ever. Who do you think holds the belt at the end of the year? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Sean O'Malley says he would love to box and KO Floyd Mayweather in exhibition. O'Malley has goals of becoming the sport's most lucrative name, and a name he's interested in fighting is undefeated boxing legend Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather dominated John Gotti in an 8-round exhibition this past Saturday in Mexico City, and the 47-year-old still is planning a few more. O'Malley hopes he can share the ring with Mayweather someday in an exhibition match. The first couple of highlights I watched from round 1 and 3, Floyd was piecing him up, looking good as hell. O'Malley said on his Timbo Sugar Show podcast, pull twos, it was pretty sick. Me versus Floyd, I would love that. That would be crazy. Just get him right at the end. Put him out, put him in. Exhibition stuff, 100%. O'Malley defends his 135-pound title against Merab Dvalishvili in the UFC 306 main event on September 14th at Sphere in Las Vegas. He has plans to compete in boxing, targeting names such as Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. Do you think Suga can succeed in boxing? Leave your thought below. Israel Adesanya's coach says the Duplessis defeat is better than the unexplainable Sean Strickland upset. For the first time in his MMA career, Israel Adesanya is facing back-to-back losses inside the octagon. However, these two fights, separated by a year, tell very different stories. Despite not securing a victory in either match, the circumstances were not the same. At UFC 293, Adesanya was surprisingly defeated by Sean Strickland, a fight where he didn't seem like his usual self. He then took a year off before returning at UFC 305. Although he didn't reclaim the title against Duplessis, Izzy seemed closer to his old form and appeared to be gaining momentum in the fight until Duplessis capitalized on a few mistakes, securing a submission win in the 4th round. Adesanya's head coach at City Kickboxing, Eugene Behrman, gave his thoughts on the fight during a recent interview with Combat TV. He made some mistakes which you can only, in my opinion, put down to fatigue. And the fatigue you can put down to the work that Dricus was able to do, so you can't do nothing but applaud that. It was a loss, but, it was a good loss. Me and Israel can walk away from that loss, and it's measurable, it's tangible. You can put that down. This is why this happened. This is why that happened. The Strickland fight is just a bit unexplainable to us. That's much harder to get over, because it's what happened there? Where do you think Izzy's future lies now? Should he move up to light heavyweight and fight his way into a title shot against his lifelong rival, Alex Pereira, whom he defeated in their last